Good morning, everybody. Happy Mother's Day. Hope your day is off to a great start and hope your day is really special if you are celebrating with your mother or a special lady in your life. It's a beautiful start to the day. We are looking live right now at Midtown Atlanta. Look at these beautiful blue skies. It will be a warm one out there. It will be a hot one out there. Let me rephrase that. We'll check in with First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi coming up in just a moment. I'm Megan Packer. Good morning to you. Hope your day is off to a great start. Thanks for joining us. We just wanted to update you on your Mother's Day forecast and also some of the top headlines that we are on top of for you this morning. We were on TV earlier. Perhaps you joined us. We were on from 7 to 9 on Sunday mornings. But if maybe you slept in, you're just getting started, you wanted to get caught up to speed, here you go. We've got some of the top stories this morning. One of them is a story that we are learning from Atlanta police. We know they are investigating after it appears a 10-year-old drowned in a swimming pool. This happened last night in Southwest Atlanta. It was a 10-year-old girl who did not survive. Officers were called out to Princeton Lakes Parkway, that's in Southwest Atlanta. They found someone there performing CPR on the 10-year-old. She was taken to Grady and unfortunately did not survive. So that is something that detectives and investigators are looking into this weekend. Very sad turn of events there in Southwest Atlanta last night. We also have an update on this story that we've been following for a few days now. This is the story out of Sandy Springs, the mother charged with the death of her toddler. She was expected to go before a judge yesterday. We talked about this yesterday morning. Now we know that this mother, Asia Calabrese Lewis, will go before a judge tomorrow. She's still being held in the Fulton County Jail, charged in the death of her daughter, 23-month-old Nirvana Oliver. The little girl's body was found in a retention pond in Sandy Springs Thursday night. It's right across the street from their apartment where they live. So the original charges in this case were cruelty to children and felony murder. But we did get an update from Sandy Springs Police this weekend. They tell us that the DA's office is recommending they drop those charges in favor of malice murder, which carries the legal burden of proving intent to kill. So that will be an update that we hear tomorrow, this new charge against this mother once she does finally go before a judge tomorrow. We're also learning a little bit more about what happened in the hours and days leading up to this. Officers were actually called out to a business to do a welfare check on the mom and child just the day before Nirvana's death. Police ended up calling DFACS. So they came out, they talked to them, they determined that no crime had been committed, but they did call DFACS, Division of Family and Children Services, just alerting them that there might have been some family assistance that was needed. We've told you DFACS had started to open a case about this, and they even attempted a home welfare check the day that the little girl died. So another really sad just timeline of events as we're learning more and going through documents and hearing more from police about this case. So a lot will unfold during this week when this mother is expected to go before a judge tomorrow. We will keep you updated about it as we learn more, because we know a lot of people in this community are thinking of this little girl and thinking of the extended family now mourning her death. Another headline we're on top of this morning, the GBI is investigating a deadly shooting involving deputies in Coweta County. This happened last night. The sheriff's office says a woman was shot in a domestic dispute at a home in Sonoya. They say a man came out of the home and started shooting at the deputies when they arrived. So those deputies returned fire and they shot and killed the man. He did not survive. The woman was taken to the hospital. We do not have an update on her condition right now, but that is an active investigation in that part of Metro Atlanta. I did look it up this morning. This is at least the 37th shooting involving law enforcement in the state of Georgia so far this year. So the GBI taking over that one. All right, if you drive around Atlanta, perhaps you know this stretch of roadway. Work is about to begin on a very bumpy and problematic road. We are talking about DeKalb Avenue. It turns out that all of the potholes are finally getting addressed there. The Atlanta Department of Transportation will start resurfacing about 5 miles of road between Jackson Street and Ridgecrest Road DeKalb Avenue will stay open while all of this work is happening. It's expected to take a few months, up until at least September. It's a $1.7 million project. It also includes new bike lanes and new street signals. So if you live, work, or play in that area of town, you will be happy to hear about those improvements. All right, well, we've got to talk about Mother's Day, of course. And what are you getting, Mom, today? Are you running out and doing some last-minute shopping? Got to get a card, got to get some flowers. Well, it turns out we all might break a record today. The National Retail Federation is predicting we will spend a collective $35.7 billion for the holiday this year. That's nearly $4 billion more than last year. According to the group's survey, 35 to 44-year-olds are the biggest spenders. Are you in that group? And they're finding that flowers and cards are the most popular gifts. You can't go wrong with that. So tell us what you are getting, Mom. Tell us how you are celebrating, Mom. Leave it in the comments here. We'd love to see what you are doing to celebrate. And if you were thinking of taking her outside, just know you will need to dress appropriately. You might need to pick the certain time of day because it will be really hot today. So I'll bring in First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi as I wish you all a wonderful Sunday and a happy Mother's Day. Courtney, you've been warning us all weekend. We had a little bit of taste of summer yesterday, and it will continue today.
Yes, it's going to be a little hotter today as well. In fact, and thankfully, a lot sunnier. We're already starting the day with a lot of sunshine, so that's at least a nice change compared to the really cloudy and foggy start to the day yesterday. Good morning, everyone. I am First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi. There's a lot of people, I think, who feel a certain way about flowers, and hearing that flowers is one of the most purchased gifts for Mother's Day, I think flowers are great. So, and I will tell you, if you're going out last minute to get Mom flowers or a card, the Publix I went to yesterday had a whole nursery worth of flowers in there. So it seems like there's no shortage of them. Now, cards, no promises. There weren't many cards. And Megan's going to bring over the balloons. Yay! Also, it's Megan's first Mother's Day, everyone.
Thank you for
yes,
this,
so
by the
beautiful.
way.
There are a million of
these to
those
go
as
around.
well. So balloons are a good option. Like, look how cute that is.
Super
That's
cute.
so cute.
Yep.
So go get your balloons and your flowers, everybody. Even if you're a last-minute shopper, it doesn't seem like you're going to have a problem. I went around, we'll say 6 o'clock last night over to Publix, and it was still jam-packed with all the essentials, except the cards. So you might be out of luck with that one. You're going to have slim pickings in that department. All right, we're seeing lots of sunshine. Definitely not seeing a lack of that in the sunshine department today. Lots of blue sky out there over Marietta. Handful of people already making their way out and about. If you're taking Mom to breakfast or brunch this morning, it's going to be wonderful. We're going to be in the upper 70s. So right now we are in the upper 70s already. It's really warm, mid 70s in the suburbs, near 90 this afternoon. So I have us forecast for 90 degrees for the city of Atlanta. We have a lot of buildings, obviously, in the city of Atlanta, and all those buildings help heat us up just a little more than the suburbs, where there's not quite as many tall skyscrapers and condos and buildings. So the suburbs, I think you'll end up being a little cooler, and you have all the beautiful trees to thank for that are in your area. It keeps you a little cooler outside the city. And then we will introduce the chance for an isolated storm later this afternoon as well, especially around dinner time, where we'll be in the mid-80s. So let's take you through it. Through the early afternoon, I think we should be primarily dry. I'm not going to rule out a pop-up shower. So when you look at this with what we call diurnal heating of the day, showers and thunderstorms, which is what we're going to contend with today, models don't always do the best job on picking up exactly where they're going to pop up. So when you're looking at this, if you see a shower pop up over near Rabun County, doesn't mean that there's necessarily going to be a shower happening at 4 o'clock there. So just keep in mind, once we head into the heat of the day, we're kind of fair game for an isolated shower or thunderstorm. As we head into the late evenings, if you have any dinner plans tonight, you might get a little wet, so just pack the umbrella with you just in case. Now, the story changes for the start of the week. We have a cold front. We call this a backdoor cold front. It's going to move in and bring us wind out of the east-northeast rather than the northwest, because it's going to come in from an opposite direction and kind of settle off to our southwest rather than clear the area. That's going to keep rain fairly widespread. This is a first alert really for the evening hours. So as you're heading to bed tomorrow evening, you're probably going to hear thunder outside your window. Now, the severe threat for Monday, because of the timing of the rain and storms on Monday being a little later, we're not expecting severe weather anymore on Monday. It does look like, though, Tuesday, as that front now stalls. Originally, yesterday, we were thinking that front was going to completely clear the area. Humidity would drop on Tuesday. It'd be really beautiful. Not going to be the case anymore, unfortunately. Now that that front isn't completely clearing and it's stalling more so down towards Macon, that's going to keep us very unsettled for most of the week, including the chance for maybe an isolated strong to severe storm Tuesday. That front's going to stall and will ultimately have the showers and thunderstorms fire up in the heat of the day and offer us the chance for maybe a strong to severe storm. Here's kind of what's going on in the setup department. This is a visual of it. Front stalls to our south. We're going to stay cooler. We will be cooler. We're not going to be near 90. We'll be in the low to mid 80s, and then potentially only in the 60s on Thursday. Some models are hinting we're only going to top out in the 60s on Thursday, which would be insane. But nonetheless, front stalls were cooler and unsettled, cooler than 90. And then, as we head into the middle of next week, so by Wednesday, Thursday, that front will still be around, and we're going to get these little ripples of energy to ride along that front. We call them short waves. Very difficult for models to pick up on. I will say there's a lot of discrepancy in the models, so the models are not really agreeing on our late week rain chances, but we do know Thursday will be the next rainiest day right now, but we'll be fine-tuning this forecast very much through the week. Here's a look at your rain chances through the week. So Monday, 40% coverage. We might bump that back up to 50, but it is a first alert because you just might have rain to deal with on your way home from work tomorrow. Tuesday's another first alert. That front stalls. We have the chance for isolated severe storms. A little drier for Wednesday. Thursday looks to be the day where we'll have our next most widespread chance for rain. That could be another first alert, but right now the models are just in such high disagreement with each other on coverage, intensity, temperatures. It's just too far out to put a first alert on that because models are just not strong enough for us to really be able to be like, okay, this is the day you need to have a heads up. And then Friday and Saturday, we do trend drier. And naturally, with the sun coming back out and our drier trend, we'll go back near 80 on Saturday. But after a day near 90 today, we're going to do a 20-degree drop because of the cold front and the rain by Thursday, with temperatures only near 70 for the afternoon. So Mother's Day today, going to be a hot one. It's already very toasty out there. If you have lunch plans today, just make sure everyone is staying hydrated and cool. You might want to sit in the shade or somewhere with air conditioning because it is going to be a hot and toasty afternoon for all the moms out there. I think most of us will top out in the mid to upper 80s today, but again, if you are planning on bopping around the city, it's going to be a little hotter there, just naturally because of the buildings. We call it an urban heat island. There's your weather word for the day. All right, everyone, happy Mother's Day to all of the moms out there. Thanks so much for spending some time with us this morning. Stay cool and enjoy the day, and keep that umbrella tucked away for the week ahead.